classes were canceled last week, and instead we got the chance to put our skills to the test out in the community. Like in front of real people. Not family and friends and other classmates, but real human beings who did not know who I was and listened to me like I actually knew what I was talking about. It was really scary, but also lots of fun. We were given the previous week to prepare 3 different workshops for certain demographics of people, and then we were sent out into the community to facilitate our own workshops. My group was myself as well as 2 of my classmates, and twice we were sent to a home for men who were recovering from addiction, and the majority of whom also had some sort of criminal conviction. And then we were also sent to a support center for street kids who were between the ages of 13 and 14. So not exactly demographics that I could relate to, or at least that's definitely what I was thinking on Monday morning when I headed into the home to face 24 criminal male addicts in recovery. And to top it all off, we were there to talk to them about the importance of values. I was pretty sure that they were just going to laugh in my face, tell me I had absolutely no right because I am a yuppie from a white, privileged suburban upbringing with absolutely nothing to complain about from a relatively golden childhood. Fair enough. But I was so wrong. They were incredibly nice, very attentive, and very engaged in everything that we did with them. They were also super relatable when it got into talking about what values were, what they meant to them, and how it feels when they are living in line with their values, and also those times in their life when they did have a value that they were not able to live in line with. The most daunting part of the workshop, though, was probably that it was based entirely upon generating discussion. So we were not supposed to go in there with a 2-hour presentation saying, this is what a value is and this is how you know what your values are. We went in with a basic skeleton, a whole host of questions, and we were just supposed to generate discussion to get them to tell us, what is a value? What does it mean to you? Why do we have them? Where do they come from? Etc., etc. So basically we had to rely upon the participants in our workshop to actually help us create a dynamic workshop. And they stepped up. Again, I did not really anticipate that they would be overly chatty or introspective or into talking about values, but they were, and they did. The street kids that we then had to go and do a workshop with were in many ways even more impressive. We did a workshop with them on assumptions, and they had a lot to say about what assumptions people make about people who live on the street, and particularly about people who are residing around Main and East Hastings in downtown Vancouver. They had even more to say, however, about assumptions they had about the type of people who make the assumptions about East Hastings and Main. And in many ways, those assumptions were even more unflattering than the ones they felt people had about them. Overall, it was a very eye-opening week, and it was really energizing. Not only did I feel like I had a lot of confidence coming out of the workshops because we did them, we facilitated workshops, we were able to put all of the skills that we've been learning in class to the test to help people have new realizations about some of their own thoughts and thought patterns and behavior patterns. Also, I got to learn a lot more about different demographics of people who I really didn't know a lot about before. That's all I have for you today for a little lesson with a touch of insight. We are back in regular classes this week, so I'm sure I will have even more for you next week. I will see you then.